Baby Bottle SL, large diaphragm studio condenser microphone, classic warmth and presence. Baby Bottle SL is a cardioid condenser microphone that delivers classic sound and incredible versatility. With a richly present mid-range, smooth top end, and neutral bottom, Baby Bottle SL is reminiscent of the world's finest vintage microphones. Featuring a high-pass filter and a -20 decibel pad, Baby Bottle SL excels at adding a rich, classic vibe to nearly any sound source. So that is directly from the Blue Mic website. That is their brief description, their overview of the microphone. Now I'm going to switch over to Sweetwater, my favorite pro audio retailer, and we're going to read some reviews as well as specs on the microphone. It's currently listed at $349, which it's on sale from $400, which I find interesting because in this time of inflation in February of 2022, where prices are going up. Just a quick example, the Focusrite ISA-1 preamp, audio microphone preamp, historically is $599, is currently listed at $699. So that's just one example. But in an era where everything is being listed up because of inflation, this Blue Baby Bottle microphone is $50 cheaper than its normal price. So I found that to be interesting. Some of the specs: it's a condenser microphone, cardioid polar pattern, frequency range from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, max SPL 134 decibels, output impedance is 50 ohms, signal to noise ratio is 83.2. Don't know where I heard this before, but at one time I heard that if a microphone signal to noise ratio isn't above 84, the best microphones signal to noise ratio is above 84. I heard that. Fact check me, do your research, leave it in the comments. If you believe this to be true, type it in the comments. A lot of the sound quality we hear from microphones is subjective. A lot of it is preference, but these stats aren't for nothing. These specs, I should say. Low cut filter at 100 hertz. The pad is -20 decibels. So this particular model, the SL, has a high pass filter as well as a -20 decibel pad. All right. This microphone does require 48 volts phantom power. And yeah. So I did not see the signal to noise ratio though. Let me go, let me pull that up. I'm gonna go to Recording Hacks, and we're gonna see if they list the Blue Baby Bottles signal to noise ratio, because I know for a lot of like spoken word artists, that is something that is very important to them. So let's go there. Blue Baby Bottle. By the way, FYI, you are listening to the Blue Baby Bottle SL right now. It's the microphone that I'm using, running it through the Audient ID 2022, Audient ID 22 audio interface. My gain is set to close to 3 o'clock, and I do not have the high pass filter engaged on my audio interface either. So you might hear some computer noises or some rumbling, some things going on in my house, whatever, but you get it. You get the gist of it. All right, so the Baby Bottle, the Blue Baby Bottle SL, is not on Recording Hacks. Thus, we need to look elsewhere. Let me go back to Blue Mic and see if they list the stats of this legendary microphone. All right. Okay, so the signal to noise ratio is 10.8 decibels, respectively. All right, so let's read the reviews. So this is the part that you're probably most interested in. Awesome mic, 5 stars. This is from Reese from Boynton Beach. This is from June 30th, 2021. He said, awesome mic. Everything from the store was great. The microphone was awesome, as was the customer service on a high level. Next review is from KC from Texas back in 2019. He gave the mic 5 stars. He said, nice mic. Very clear sounding mic. Has a little extra mid-range sound. Great on acoustic and vocals. This next review is from, did not leave his name, but this was in 2019. His musical background is an artist/producer. Gave it 5 stars. He gave it 5 stars. He said, still getting used to it. Just plugging and jumping into the booth with this was a drastic improvement. I haven't even tapped into its potential, and that's incredible. Next review is from Mogami from Santa Fe, New Mexico. In 2018, he is a songwriter/producer. He said, 5 stars, awesome mic for Vox, for vocals, piano, guitar, and more. I got a pair of Baby Bottle SLs primarily to give more love to my beloved rebuilt 1917 Steinway B ... only to find out they're also awesome on vocals and just about everything else. I actually have a couple more expensive tube condensers, but I was feeling they were a bit too thick and heavy sounding in a way that seemed to make my sound dated. The Baby Bottle really makes the piano come alive with a combination of presence, clarity, and body that I've been missing. Yay! Exclamation point. These bad boys also bring those same qualities to vocals with a decidedly fresh, modern vibe that really jumps out in the mix, even before processing. The presence and clarity across the entire range is awesome. Acoustic guitars also have a vibrant sparkle, and you can get as much body as you want depending on proximity to the sound hole. In addition to full mids, they've got enough high end to be pleasantly crispy on things like tambourine and shakers. As a bonus, these guys put out a lot of juice, so I don't have to worry too much about preamp noise. And the construction feels bulletproof right down to the shock mounts. All right. That was from Mogami from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Nice hearing from you. Let's see. Best mic I've ever had. 5 stars. This is from Roger from Nashville, 2018. He says, Blue knocked it out of the park when they created the Baby Bottle SL. I've got a decent mic locker at my home studio with most of the essentials. I would love to hear what he considers the essentials to be. He says, I need to track guitars, vocals, strings, and drums. Parentheses, Shure SM7, SM57, MXR condensers, a few AKG condensers, etc. Close parentheses. I haven't touched one of them since I got this mic. If I had to describe the sound of Baby Bottle SL in 3 words, pure vintage mojo. For vocals, it hits that sweet spot that I've always loved in vintage recordings. Warm, rounded, plenty of saturation, and it just sits perfectly in the mix. Think Rolling Stones sticky fingers era. He said, think about that. Equally impressed on both acoustics and electric amps, it's super balanced and present in the mid-range, clear and smooth on the top end, and really just packed with mojo. Hands down my favorite mic I've ever owned. I think it sounds like a $2,000 vintage mic, no joke. Unbelievable value. Thank you, Roger from Nashville, back in 2018. Let me try to find some negative comments. The lowest rating on here is 1.5 stars. This is from Steve. December 3rd of 2021, he says, if it breaks after 2 years, it's a paperweight. He says, great microphone. After 2 years, had an incident where the switches, which are kind of flimsy, broke. Blue has no option for repair or placement of the logic board with the switches. Great mic, somewhat flimsy. After 2 years, if it breaks, it's a paperweight. Looks like several for sale on eBay with same switch breakage. I've actually noticed that as well, Steve. A handful of the listings that I've seen, these mics, little switches, are not on the microphone. So that must be a quality control thing. They do fall off. Here's another, the next lowest rating, because the rest of them were 5 stars. This one's 4.5 stars from Miles Grant from Jacksonville, Florida, December of 2021. He says, good bang for your buck. You get a mic with really good self-noise. You get more than what you pay for. I purchased one a few months ago. Good frequency response. It makes it easy for me to mix my vocals. Most of the time, I only have to do a little bit of subtractive EQing, and then I normally can bring the 8K to 11K range up. Good sensitivity on this mic, good SPL, the specs are good, and the mic sounds good. I ran it through a Scarlett Solo first, then I ran it through the Gyrex Pre using the Antelope Zen Go. Good with or without a top-notch preamp. If you are looking for something affordable with pro quality, this is a good option. Thank you, Miles from Jacksonville in 2021. So, all right, guys, that's you've heard me speaking on this thing for a while. You've heard the specs and you've heard what the people have said about this microphone. Now I want you to join me in the comment section and share with me your experiences with this microphone, the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to hear it all. Let's start a discussion. I'll give you my 2 cents with it. I had the original as well as the SL. The original had this, it had like this metallic sheen to it. And it's almost like it was a little bit congested at times. Certain singers this really worked for. Other singers it did not work for. Then for rapping vocals, what I have experienced with it, this is the old one, mind you. It was very transparent, very neutral. I guess you could say a little vintage sounding. Did not have that metallic sheen that I heard when the singers used it. Only when rapping. That was the first model. This is the SL model. It's more modern, still rounded, but has more top end for sure. And just I would say a better overall sound, a more polished professional sound, for a lack of better words. This is my experience with it. Only done vocals with it. I've had the old model. I've had the new model. This is the new model that you've been listening to this entire time, the Blue Baby Bottle SL. Like I said, share your experiences and your reviews in the conversation, and stay tuned for another audio review, most likely a microphone review. Like, comment, I already said, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and I appreciate you. All right, God bless you. Peace.